It is finally September, which means it's time to tell you guys how much I made as an indie author with 2 books out in the month of August. If you're new here, hi, my name's Lindsay Elizabeth. I am a fantasy, romantasy, dark fantasy author who likes spice and morally gray men and very powerful women. Every month on TikTok, I share my indie author income just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a relatable measuring stick so that you can kind of see what it's like being an indie author, what you can expect as a newer author with a book out or 2 books out. Maybe it's your debut, maybe it's like your 5th one. And just to kind of give you an idea of what you could expect to make versus what I see a lot of the time is big success stories, like people making tens of thousands of dollars in a month, or they get a 6-figure publishing deal and it blows up on TikTok. This is going to be more of a long form inside look at how my marketing on TikTok, because I mainly use TikTok for my marketing, how that impacts my sales numbers based on the number of sales for a day or reads for KU, and pitting that against how my TikToks did that day or over the course of time. Because I did just have a TikTok go a little bit viral recently, for me anyway. This on YouTube will be the longer rundown. If you want just the numbers and you don't want to know my life story, go over to TikTok and watch it there. So the 2 books that I have out currently right now, as of September 1st, 2023, is Kingdom of Ash and Shadow. It looks like this. She's gorgeous. We love her. It is a dual POV dark fantasy romance, kind of as I said. It gives Avatar Last Airbender vibes. It really gives like Zutara, like Zuko and Katara vibes, because it follows a morally gray firebending king who forcibly marries a naive, kind of sheltered waterbending princess to stop a war between their kingdoms because everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. I couldn't resist. And then Rosalie, who you see here, is our sheltered, naive waterbending princess, and she finds out that Kel's kingdom has been hiding things, been keeping a lot of secrets for the last 15 years, and she ultimately has to learn who she can trust and who she wants to become. And then I also have the prequel. It's Kingdom of Shadow and Ice. There's a naming convention, you might notice, but it follows in more of a backstory setting. It follows Kel's mother, who is Faye, and she recently had her kingdom burned to the ground and is trying to decide between love and war, if she wants vengeance or to move on, and then choices are made for her. So those are the 2 books I have out right now. You can go check them out. They're on Amazon, they're on KU. So segueing into that, I get paid per orders, both ebook and print, which is in soft and hardcover. And then I also get paid for pages read on Kindle Unlimited because it's exclusively in Kindle Unlimited as an ebook. As far as orders go for last month, I had 21 total orders. 7 were for the Kindle version of Kingdom of Ash and Shadow, the first book. 9 were for print, which is kind of cool because I like seeing people buy the print books. So that was 16 of them. And then I had 5 for Kingdom of Shadow and Ice, the second book. Doing a lot with my hands, it's fine. 1 for Kindle and 4 for print. So I'm really excited that people are getting these print versions because they turn out so nicely. I love them. So it was 21 orders, and then as far as Kindle Unlimited page reads go, I got 23,262, which 22,919 were for the first book and 343 were for the second book. And then I'll put the math of what KU's average numbers end up being for those books because they're slightly different. So between those orders and those page reads, my royalties equaled out to $168.41 for the entire month. And I'm really happy about that, actually. That's probably in my top 3 or 4, but that actually is a pretty good month for me. But I'm still not going to quit my day job. So, it's charging and I'm charging. Okay, so now I want to go a little bit deeper with you guys into the TikToks that I posted, when those got views or how many views, versus specifically Kindle Unlimited pages read, because I think that's where most of my audience is. Most of my money comes from KU. So breaking down the entire bit of what I got paid, ebook royalties for Kingdom of Ash and Shadow, these are for the sales. It was $23.80 for Kingdom of Ash and Shadow and $3.42 for Kingdom of Shadow and Ice. For printed books, I got $32.69 for Kingdom of Ash and Shadow and $15.72 for Kingdom of Shadow and Ice. And then for pages read, it was $91.42 for Kingdom of Ash and Shadow, and it was $1.37 for Kingdom of Shadow and Ice. So the bulk of my income comes from KU, Kindle Unlimited, pages read. It's the KENP I forget what it stands for, but I don't care. And it also mostly comes from the first book because it's part of a series. I'm working on the third book right now where they all kind of culminate, come together. But for now, most of the money comes from people reading the first book because I market it the hardest. It's an easy standalone if you want to read it as a standalone. And it gives all the nostalgia vibes of Avatar: The Last Airbender, apparently. Which is one of my favorite shows, so I'm so glad that that happened. And that people agree. I'm glad the vibes are coming across, the Zuko vibes. We love those vibes. So I did have one video kind of blow up. It's at like 34,000 views, I think. So I'm kind of going to start with that and see. I'm going to put the chart up here. You can see that this chart just goes whoop, like it skyrockets. It was like, you make like 80 cents a day. And then it was like, I got you. That was the algorithm. That was the TikTok algorithm. So solely looking at that video, on Kindle Unlimited, my pages read on that day, on August 23rd, were for Kingdom of Ash and Shadow 4,079. And I'm going to look up when that video took off because I feel like it's going to match up. The video got the most views on the 24th. It hit 21,000 views, which was like the biggest spike. On the 23rd, it was at 11, which meant it was climbing fast. So the 23rd, people were like, gotta jump on that, get that, and then you can kind of see it went down a little bit, but like the 24th, they got a lot of views still, so like almost the same amount of readership, roughly. It was 3,500 something. Really interesting, but I do also want to see where this spike on the 14th came from, because that's wild. I should be recording my screen. So I'm going to go in my feed and see what did I post on the 14th. What is today? Okay, so it's been a little bit. If you can't handle it, don't look. Okay, so we have to go back a little bit farther. Trying to see, based on views, if I can kind of guess like where in my feed it's coming from. So like here's one with 466 views that I posted on the 15th. Okay, so a little bit before that. Okay. And this was for the 14th. Found it. I found it. So it's this TikTok here. I'll post it right here. And I'll like react to it.
Hi Book Talk. I wrote a book for these Zutara girlies who like the dark fantasy and the spice and the Zuko and Katara vibes and the morally gray firebender forcibly marrying a naive, sheltered waterbending princess.
Yeah, so that was literally just me messing around in my car before work. I'd say it worked out. That was a little uptick. And then the funny thing is, that video getting a little bit more exposure made me remember that I should repost a very similar TikTok to ones that have done well in the past, which is kind of one of my marketing hacks. So if a video does really well and it like blows up, I'm talking I had one of these videos do 50-some thousand views. If it does well, I save it on Snaptic without the watermark. And I'll re-upload it, and I will literally copy-paste the caption and re-upload it, and it does well again. 9 times out of 10, it won't do 50,000 again. It has never hit 50,000 again. But I've had it hit like 12,000. I've had it hit 6,000, 8,000. It gets the views. That one video gets the views. But if I recreate it, that also gets traction. So sometimes I'll just recreate it, change the wording a little bit, change the optimize my SEO a little bit, and it does decently well. I've done that a few times. It usually gets a few thousand views. When I did the big one, like 2 weeks later, or like 10 days later, on the 23rd, it got 34,000 views. And that's literally all I did, is I took like this successful TikTok and I made this successful TikTok. So there is a formula to the success of your TikToks. For anyone wondering why I mainly market on TikTok, that's why the ROI is the highest I've seen on any social media. That's where I get a lot of community engagement. I'm not looking for vanity metrics, but that is where I get like a lot of likes and saves and things like that. I haven't marketed my books a lot on Instagram or Facebook. I market them more to like my family and friends, which is kind of what Instagram and Facebook have turned into. So as far as marketing goes, I use TikTok. I have an email newsletter that you can sign up to with the link in my bio. I don't know, I'll put a link somewhere. I'm used to saying that on TikTok. I'll put a link to my newsletter if you want to sign up for it. I don't spam email anybody. I literally just email people when like ARCs go out. I'm looking for beta readers. I'm doing a giveaway, stuff like that. Like if there's a big thing to do happening ta-da, then I'll send out a newsletter. But so you gotta make sure it's not in your spam, and I'm not gonna spam you. But yeah, this has been Matilda and me, apparently, talking about how much I made as an indie author last month in August. And if you guys like these types of videos, or you want more videos, or you want me to do a year-end review or something, I only just published in January. So this is like this is gonna be my first full year of publishing, of having books out. So I used to sell books back in high school and middle school. I wrote way back then, and I did KDP before it was KDP. It was CreateSpace, and I actually had like a little bit of success, but I wanted to be the next Amanda Hawking. I don't plan on being the next anybody. I plan on being Lindsay Elizabeth. So, and if you want to check out my books, there are links below. I'm finding my YouTube niche, and monthly book sale updates sounded like a good way to start because I do it on TikTok anyway. So yeah, that was my indie author income for the month of August. Let's see how September goes. Have a good one.